So I just completed the chapter 2, summoned character in the book Road to Character, and that chapter specifically highlights the life story of an US labor force US labor activist, Frances Perkins. So it's a very interesting, like this was very interesting. The character was very interesting. So she basically got his life calling from that one incident, that fire incident, that triangle lips incident that I've just explained in the previous video, where she had to see 14 or 15, 17 to 23 years of age girls jumping from the open windows due to that fire incident. It was one of the most deadliest industrial accidents ever happened in that place, as I researched more into it. So I was reading the chapter and I noticed that this character is very very interesting to read on, and whatever I came to know from her life, whatever briefly I can state, that she used to study in Willow College, where before going to that college she was a different person, and after coming from that college she was absolutely different person. Before going to the college, her mother recalls that she was calm, charming woman, but after she came from the college, her mother didn't recognize her almost. That she isn't the Perkin that I remember. Like it was some kind of bad emotions coming from her mother. Like, this is not good. It's like that. Now, Perkins' character, like psychological aspects has been shaped by that institutions, where they say that to never ever reveal your weakness in the public, and many psychological factors that went on to reflect in her professional life. She was a social labor activist, and she always used to get into the debates of labor rights, and because of that she always had to get into politics. And at that period of time it was almost a world of man, right? Now she used to study everyone, and also used to keep a folder of files outlining the behavior of man, in which one of the incident was when a man came to her in an elevator. He told that she reminded him of his mother, and from then on she went on to dress black dress or something like that, which depicted something like a mother, and from then on she was being called by the mainstream as Mother Perkins, as reflected in a labor of activists. There's so many points, man. I've never ever had the experience to read this kind of complex character analysis, character biography. But despite later on her private life was completely devastated, as her husband Wilson and her daughter Susanna were both suffering from mental illness. Despite from experiencing the turmoil of handling everything as a woman, she went on to set milestones in the social labor world to shape up the labor laws in the US. There are so many details, goddamn details, I find it really, really tremendous to point every point out here. This was a great read, but a complex read. I should read that again. But I was really impressed by the character of such an woman whose private life was trembling, and she almost felt the urge to weep in front of the public when the impeachment act was against her. She stayed in silence and never ever showed her private life or her weaknesses in the public. And also she was the top level law aide of Roosevelt, the president during that period of time. And Roosevelt was really impressed of this lady, and because of that, despite of withdrawals from the seat of the secretary cabinet, Roosevelt never ever approved of resignations of her own positions until his death. And because he had done so many work, many biographers approached her to write a book, but you know what, she insisted on never ever expressing her own private life, and went too far to even torn and burn a file to prevent the biographers to make a book on her. But instead, what she did, she wrote a biography on Roosevelt itself. She wrote a biography of Roosevelt instead. This was really powerful, to the point where I even can't speak any words perfectly to explain the points in simple terms. I have to read that chapter once again. That was really powerful and very complex. But guess what? Everything that I came to know from that chapter is that that lady had a very complex political life and had to experience a lot of turmoils, not only from politics but also from negative press covering. And when she was being accused, when she was getting the impeachment claims, the press coverage was so largely negative displayed over her image. But guess what? When she won over the impeachment case, there was no that negative. There was no I just had a call right now, so I had to cross that before closing the video. So her destroyed reputation was never recovered after winning the impeachment, because there was no press coverage of her winnings. So she has to deal a lot throughout her life, but because her character was intact to protect the labor laws, she never lost. She died alone. And I have to read that again, man. I don't know what, I'm literally fumbling around.